April 1761. The courtroom of the Old Bailey is packed with a terrified crowd, watching a trial that would stain the history of London forever. Welcome back to The Tombs. Today, we unearth the dark archives of Theodore Gardelle, a respected French enamel painter who hid a butcher's heart behind an artist's brush. Gardelle was a quiet gentleman renting an upper room at Leicester Fields, inside the house of a merry lady named Anne King. But on a freezing Thursday morning, the air turned thick with malice. At 8 o'clock, Gardelle sent the young maid, Nanny, into the winter fog, giving her a gold guinea to buy a pennyworth of snuff. The moment the heavy street door clicked shut, Gardelle was alone. He encountered Mrs. King in the parlor. A sudden, bitter argument erupted over unpaid rent. Insults turned to pure rage, and the lady violently struck the painter across his chest. Blinded by fury, Gardelle delivered a brutal push. She lost her footing on the slick oilcloth, falling backward with a sickening thud, her head crashing directly against the sharp wooden corner of the bedpost. Blood gushed from her mouth, choking her cries. Terrified of the gallows, Gardelle panicked, sinking into a dead swoon on the floor beside her lifeless body. Exactly 15 minutes later, the maid unlocked the door and returned. The house was dead silent. She found no one, leaving the snuff on the table, completely unaware that a corpse lay just behind the bedroom door. Soon after, Gardelle emerged from the dark. His face was flushing vastly, a massive bloody bump rising over his left eye, covered by a black patch. He had completely stripped his green nightgown, replacing it with a brilliant blood-red scarlet suit. He coldly lied to the maid, claiming Mrs. King had suddenly left for Bath with a gentleman.
I saw him leave. He went that way into the fog.
But sir, the carriage still waits.
He paid the confused girl 6 shillings and discharged her immediately, clearing the house of any prying eyes. But Gardelle could not stay alone with his sins. 2 nights later, he brought a new woman, Sarah Walker, into his bed, while the missing landlady's body still cold inside the house. On Tuesday at 2 in the morning, Sarah suddenly awoke to find Gardelle missing from the sheets. She crept out and saw his pale silhouette standing on the dark stairs. He nervously claimed he was just taking a night walk, but in truth, he was returning from the shadows after dissecting the limbs of his victim. Within days, a foul, burning stench filled the stairwell. The other lodger's servant confronted Gardelle about the smell, but the painter calmly shrugged, claiming he was merely burning an old bone in the fireplace. Pushed by suspicion, the servant searched the back washhouse, pulling a heavy, waterlogged curtain and bloody sheets from a dark tub. Constables raided the house, and a horrified apothecary uncovered the truth. Hidden inside the dark privy pit were human bowels. Packed inside the ceiling rafters were a breast and severed bones. And inside the garret fireplace lay the charred, ash-covered remains of Anne King. At the Old Bailey,
I did it! I killed her! My hands are stained with her blood!
The foreign painter
this
confessed,
fate.
stating that disposing of her by parts was his greatest wickedness. They dragged him to the Haymarket, hanging him in heavy iron chains on the desolate Hounslow Heath. The archives hold thousands of forgotten monsters. Subscribe to enter the next tomb and stay in the dark.